All right, David, some ticket text. We're going to get to the Lions. I'm being upfront with you. I found this incredibly interesting and disturbing and depressing, and I wanted to start the show with it. So we'll get there with the Leos. But you got these reports of OSU just getting blown out of the water by north of $1 million for recruits. They just can't do it. Gene Smith has come out with the ultimate, help me, I'm poor. Gene Smith has come out publicly saying, we need your money badly if you want OSU to win games. Publicly. And, it's funny. Everyone's interested in what promises are made. I'd love to know some of the promises being made with these recruits. Like, Michigan is in the playoff for a back-to-back season. They're Big Ten champs back-to-back years. They're not in the top 20 recruiting. They don't have a top 100 player. 2 in the top 250. MSU's trying to rebuild. And they hired a recruiter, and they got like a whopping 11 commits. And they're getting blown out of the water by places like Oregon and Miami repeatedly. Why? The bag. Mm-hmm. It's like the Wendy's commercial. You got that biggie bag. We don't. So my question is, if OSU can't afford to play the grand game, Michigan fan, how are you going to stay where you're at? And Spartan fans, how are you going to get where you want to go?
It's so many different avenues to take. You just can't do high school recruiting anymore. We're now seeing that because elite players, the Bolitnikov winner, Pitt's no longer good enough for me. Right. I'm going off to USC. You can't sustain it just off the transfer portal because, as you said, for every K9, you get a bunch of Chester Kimbroughs. You get a bunch of Amir Speeds. And if you start paying people, well, now you become Texas A&M that's lost 21 players from last year's roster, many of which got the bag last year. You want another one? Quinn Ewers got the bag from Ohio State, left a semester later. He was in Ohio State for 3 months and got another bag at Texas. And here's the thing about giving out the bag. You play the what-if game because you know what? If Amir Speed's not good, oh well. But if you paid $1.5 million for a kid and he stinks, he keeps the money.
You mean like Quinn Ewers against ranked opponents this year, only completing 47% of his passes?
Yeah.
Oops.
But he still keeps the money. But here's the thing. Your fans, it's you can't win. Your fans want the players, but then when they get the players and the players stink, oh, my God, what are we doing?
But then you also have the other end of this, and you brought up the Mike Hart situation and story and said, well, they can just develop those type of players. Well, do we have the patience for that as a fan?
No.
You say, yeah, do that, but
look,
I don't want to wait 5 years for that.
If NIL's not around, or if there were just guardrails, do you understand your school, Michigan, would be, David, you'd have a top class, by the way, as you should. As you should.
Correct.
And you don't right now. And I hate to break it to you, but if you're not recruiting at that level, you're not going to stay at that. It's proven over time. And if you're Michigan State, let me just help you. If somehow either things don't change or you don't start playing the grand game, you're not going to get to that level. So I'm asking, what are we doing here? Because this NIL thing is a bit out of control to me. Go to John 97.1. Johnny, what's going on, buddy?
Hey guys, hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
I just can't believe this happened. How did they? Everybody was so excited for the kids, and they're making as much as coaches, and it's not going to get out of control, and schools aren't going to covet these kids and give them all these millions of dollars. Bull crap. Everybody saw this coming, and it's going to change college football for the worse. I think MSU would have been better served if they gave $9 million, maybe 6 of that, to recruits to get somebody in there. It's just in Michigan, they're not going to go anywhere. This is their heyday. I'm telling you, this is absolutely the worst thing that could happen. And I really don't know how it got out of control.
John, here's your problem. See, I disagree on the latter. If you plan on making the playoff every year and winning the Big Ten every year, and you're not recruiting the players that you were getting, I don't understand how you can say you're going to stay there. Michigan's not going to play that.
No.
Go ahead.
No, we're not staying there. I'm sorry. I'm a Michigan fan. There's no way we're going to stay there.
I understand.
No, I'm sorry. It's going to change Michigan altogether. This is going to be a great school academically, but forget about winning Big Tens and maybe Big Tens because I don't see other than Ohio State
You know what, John?
And using the money.
John, what you'll end up becoming, as I was talking with Doug after the show, you won't fall off the face of the earth. You won't go through the Rich Rod years, but you're probably looking at like Purdue, 8-4, 9-3 type of thing. No, because of not having a player. But occasionally you'll get that player, you'll have that great team, and you could rise up, play in Indianapolis. But yeah, the way this is going, it's really become the haves and the have-nots.
I don't know how Harbaugh can recruit the players that he needs to win a national title. Now, again, they may win it this year.
Right.
I'm making a point moving forward. If Georgia's paying $2 million to sign on the dotted line, Michigan is nowhere involved in that.
Yeah, but you're looking at the wrong school.
No, it's good. They're not going to be involved in that. They won't let them do it. But one thing they've done is they've extended that college playoff. To 12 games now?
Yeah,
it's going to get more people in, but you're going to get 4 teams. They're going to max out, and you're not going to be able to beat them. It's just changed college football for the worse.
Yeah,
and everybody saw this coming, but nobody wanted to stop the kids from making the money. There's a way of there was a good way of doing it, but they didn't want to do it. They just opened it all up. Now the floodgates are out, and we're all screwed.
You know what? John just hit a great point. The NCAA, just being gutless the way that they are, could have stepped in here, put up the guardrails, and said, this is how it's going to be. This is what's going to happen. Here's what you're going to pay. Here's a cap. Incoming freshmen can only make $200,000 coming in. And people would have been like, well, you can't do it. Yeah, actually, you can, because you know what? It's not your God-given right to play college football. You could have set up guardrails, but the NCAA basically said, well, you don't want to do it our way. Screw it. Wild, Wild West. Go out there. And the team that we're talking about, Georgia, the team that we need to be worried about is USC, because USC is showing us we'll take your best players and we'll come to your home stadium with your best player. We're going to pay. We just got a Heisman Trophy winner. USC's got the money. They got that Hollywood money. That's the one, because they're coming to the Big Ten, and they're not coming like Penn State and Nebraska came in here just to be also-rans.
Yeah, you know what my problem is with the guardrails idea, though, is even if you would have started with guardrails, my thinking is teams like Georgia, teams like Alabama, LSU, Clemson, I feel like they just go back to what they were doing before. Under the table, here you go.
Yeah, but Kenny,
don't
here's
tell
the thing.
anybody about this.
This is where, and you're right, but this is where, if we were being serious about this, it's not the NCAA. The conferences have to all align. You don't stick to the rules, you get the death penalty.
100%.
You're out.
As long as you have different leadership in different places, there's no consistency across the board.
I just can't believe, and again, I don't begrudge Georgia for what they're doing. And I on one hand, Rico's right. I'm terrified because I see what A&M did and what a collapse it is.
Yeah.
But on the other,
and trust me when I say it, I mean to cut you off. Miami will be Texas A&M in a few years. Where all of these kids that they're buying, they're gonna get there and be like, I don't like it.
But like,
here.
imagine a kid who wants to go to U of M. They're the Big Ten champ, wants to play there. Georgia swoops in with almost $2 million to sign on the dotted line and $800K a season. Michigan can't compete with that.
No. And it would be stupid as a player to say no.
Right. David, it's life-changing money.